My name is Dillon Landry. I'll be giving a speech over the abolishment of slavery and how it actually affected the world. The abolishment of slavery has to do one of the greatest turning points in how the people in the world saw each other as people instead of property. It amazes me how long it took to get a true leader in office to stand up for his fellow man, no matter the color or ethnicity. I know Abraham Lincoln stated that he did not plan to interfere with the slavery within the nation, but he did end up speaking out towards states about slavery needed to end in order for the world to be truly united. The Republicans were able to take down the Northern rivals despite the disadvantage of the Northern states being against anti-slavery politics. One of the reasons Northerners were against anti-slavery politics was that they were afraid of its disunionist consequences. Lincoln saw that the nation was becoming more divided, with slavery being the main reason. His plan was to actually create a nation that brought together every man, woman, and child and bring forth a new age. How the Republicans managed so rapidly to invert Northern ideas about anti-slavery politics is thus an issue of considerable importance. In just about every speech that Lincoln gave, the first words out of his mouth were something to do with him looking down on slavery. His hatred for slavery grew as he entered slave-owning states. After traveling by steamboat, which I'll show you here in just a second, from Louisville to St. Louis, he notices a boat with slaves on board. In a letter he sent to one of his close friends, Joshua Speed, he expressed his feeling very bluntly about what he saw and how it affects him. He states in the letter, "You may remember, as well as I do, that from Louisville to the mouth of Ohio, there were on board 10 or a dozen slaves shackled together with irons. That sight was a continual torment to me, and I see something like it every time I touch the Ohio or any other slave port." And this is actually a picture of what he was to see when he made that statement. That statement opened the eyes of his friend Joshua Speed, and it allowed Joshua Speed to actually understand where he was coming from and made him want to embark on the journey to abolish slavery by Lincoln's side. Abraham Lincoln used many tactics to try to persuade states into joining him with this dividing time. Some looked at Lincoln like he was crazy for even asking them to join him, and some understood the message he was getting at. Trying to move some states over to anti-slavery was nothing short of a battle. There were northern and southern states that were all for freeing the states, but then there were also states that thought if they freed the slaves, then the cotton industry would collapse. At the time, the cotton industry was held together by the slaves just because of how much labor they had to do to keep it poor. Which this may have been true, but it was still no reason to keep the slaves laboring out of fear. The cotton industry was at its peak when Lincoln was trying to free the slaves, moving millions of dollars in cotton around the world. It is no reason to keep men and women as slaves just because they did not want the industry to fall, but there's always another option. In the end, Abraham Lincoln won his war. Defeating the South brought into motion a new age for the people in the United States. The slaves were free and the states were no longer divided. We know that many things had to happen for the slaves to be free, but Abraham Lincoln set into motion the last piece of the puzzle to make this happen. The slaves kneeled before Lincoln as he went state by state telling them that they were free. He told them not to kneel to him, but only to God. Lincoln was a great leader for his people. He had the heart to make something that seemed impossible become reality. He could not grasp the sight of seeing people being chained up and brought back to their slave owners just to be punished and sent right back out into the blazing sun to work. To this day, he is still remembered for one of the greatest achievements known to man. We as people cannot thank him enough for what he has done. Thank you.